Hey guys, so I'm gonna talk today about my experience with the Terran Tactical Canik and the issues that I have with it and what I've seen a lot of other people have with it. I've put about 1,600 rounds to this gun already, and for about the first 7 to 800, I was trying to fix the failure to fire malfunction that these Caniks have, specifically the TTIs. I looked it up. I started having every single, even every magazine, I was having at least one failure to fire. And it wasn't fully going into battery. It would be sitting right about here, pull the trigger, and it would jolt forward. And it's pretty hard to tell when it doesn't fully sit in battery when you're actually shooting it, you're going through. But then you just get that click, no striker hit on the round, like totally clean primer. Uh, and that would just constantly happen. I tried swapping springs out. Um, Nothing. I've tried using different ammo. I've used factory reloads. I've used 2 or 3 different types of factory ammo and reloads. Uh, Nothing fixed it. I ended up watching a video on somebody who was when I was researching this, and seeing all these people having these issues with the Canik TTI. Somebody ended up finding out that inside of your striker channel, your striker is getting hit on the side. It's marring up the metal on the striker. And I'll pull this guy apart, show you here the difference between both of these strikers. So here is a regular Mete SFT Pro. Shot this one a bunch, never had any issues with it. And then I have run the striker in this when I was trying to figure out what my issue was. I've run this striker from the SFT Pro in my TTI. Still getting the same issue. So it wasn't the striker itself. But as you can see, I don't know if I can get the camera to focus it very well. This one doesn't have it as bad because I didn't put a ton of rounds on this striker in the TTI uh, until before I realized it was still just giving me the same issue. But right about here, on the corner of this little rectangular piece here, the metal gets marred and chewed up. And it's like inside the TTI, it's in the striker channel, there's some deformity that's chewing up this little corner here. On the actual TTI's striker, which is the exact same one. There's no difference between this striker and the one in the SFT Pro. They're both the same. They'll both swap interchangeably. But this one was super, super screwed up. I mean, this metal was just all chewed up and all destroyed. And I'm like, man, what the hell? This might be why it's not going fully into battery. Canik's solution to this is to just send you a heavier spring and force fuck the thing into place, and completely ignore the fact that it's chewing up your striker. And yeah, sure, the heavier spring works, but you're still chewing up your striker, and you can still potentially get those malfunctions. I've seen people get the heavier spring and still have the issue. I do have a heavier spring on order. Hasn't come in yet. I'm using their regular spring, recoil spring. Came with it. I'm not using the low power one. I don't have any low power ammo to shoot through it. But my solution, while I'm waiting 8 million years for them to send me the spring, is I took a Dremel, really bootleg gunsmithing work here. I took a Dremel and I just rounded off that face on this rectangular bit. And as you can see on mine, it is now rounded and smoothed off. It still somewhat gets chewed up a little bit. Not nearly as bad as it was, and I could probably round it off a little more. But I just took a little Dremel, a $20 Dremel from Amazon with a sander bit on it, and rounded that off, polished off all the corners. Works like a charm. I'm going to try to get some videos of me shooting with this striker in it and this striker in it to show you. This one will cause failure to fire malfunction. This one will not. And for some reason, that is the solution. I haven't seen anybody else talk about that being the solution. I've seen that one guy that was like, hey, it's chewing up the striker, and then didn't really talk about a solution. He's just like, yeah, get the heavier spring, and that's it. Unfortunately, that's all you can do. The Canik seems to kind of wipe their hands of this one, and they're like, oh yeah, take the heavy spring, get out of my face. But in reality, there is a defect somewhere in this striker channel that is chewing up your striker and causing that issue. So I don't know exactly where the defect is. I haven't taken a bore scope to it or anything like that. But that's unfortunately the issue. And unfortunately, the solution to that issue is to Dremel down your goddamn striker. So hopefully, if anybody else has a Canik TTI and has the same issue, this video is helpful to you, and I can at least help somebody out, because I know I was having the biggest frustration ever trying to figure out the solution to this. That's not just, oh, put a heavier recoil spring in it and, keep forcing it through. So hopefully the hundreds of people that I've seen with this issue on forums and stuff can use this video to help them out if you are if you don't mind dremeling your striker down. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.